Hello and welcome to Retro Reviews, my channel where I review my favorite retro video games of all time, as well as some modern releases I have recently finished. The retro game that I want to look at today is Star Fox 64. I will be honest, I have never played this game until just barely. Last week, I finally booted it up. I've had the cartridge for a very long time. I got it secondhand, and I finally booted it up and played through it. I was surprised at how easy it was to get through. Not how easy the game was, but how quick it was to get through this game. It's actually a relatively short game. I wanted to talk about it today because I had a lot of fun and I have a lot of thoughts about this game as well. So this is a very beloved entry in the franchise, primarily because it's pretty much and easily the best one. The only ones we really have to compare to Star Fox 64 are the original Star Fox. We got the lost Star Fox 2 that got put with the SNES Classic. We've got like Star Fox Zero on the Wii U, because Star Fox Adventures on the GameCube is not really anything like the Star Fox franchise that the fans know and love. The Star Fox 64 sits as the golden entry in the series because it was easily the best one. It had the best controls, had the best like campaign and everything. I know from like Star Fox Zero, I'm sure it had lots of good content, but the controls hampered the experience for pretty much everybody that played it. And that is the biggest downfall of that game, unfortunately, because it was a nice return to form for the series after the mishap that was Star Fox Adventures. Now, I'll be honest, I played Star Fox Adventures when I was a little kid, and I had a really great time. I could see a lot of the pitfalls of the game. The voice acting can be absolutely atrocious. The animations cannot be the most smooth. It's a little goofy at times, but I really enjoyed the adventure aspect of it. It really did feel kind of like a little bit like a Zelda game with Star Fox in the leading role. I liked the voice actor for Star Fox especially. I liked the story well enough. It's goofy and it's weird and it's got some laughable moments, especially with all of the weird dinosaur language, but I had a good time, and that's because I never played the original Star Fox game, so I did not have a baseline. The dogfighting in that game is fantastic, but the sections are tiny. They're so short compared to anything that you see in Star Fox 64, so I can see why people have such a big problem with that coming from Star Fox 64 and expecting something more. The biggest problem I have with Star Fox 64 is that it's not longer. I'm pretty sure that because this one is such like a technical showcase for the Nintendo 64. I'm sure they're pushing graphical capabilities and all the things that you can have on screen, all the polygons moving. It's like an 8 stage game, so there's not a whole lot to play. The stages themselves are fairly beefy though, so you do get a fair amount of content per level, but you can easily beat this in like an afternoon if you really put your mind to it. It's not the easiest game to beat. I found myself struggling several times with some of the levels because they pack in quite a challenge. They want you to get your money's worth out of this game, and you definitely do. In those 8 stages, you have, I think, 3, maybe 4 boss fights, if I'm not remembering one of them. I want to say 3. You have the fight with Starwolf and his team, which is exceptional, probably the best fight in the entire game. I love the voice actors for that. I love the back and forth between them. You have a lava monster boss, and you have Andross at the end as well. Let me know in the comment section if I missed any of those. Those are the ones I readily remember off the top of my head. There might have been one earlier on as well. But I really enjoyed the fight with Starwolf especially. Thought the lava monster was pretty good. I liked the level itself. I thought the heating area, like slowly moving your health bar down, was really cool. And the Andross fight was pretty darn good. His was a little disappointing for me because it mostly boiled down to like recognizing his patterns and just getting out of the way, and it wasn't too big of a challenge for me. But I digress. Let's talk about the game and the mechanics and everything, and kind of get a baseline for this game. So you play as Star Fox with his team. You've got Slippy, you've got Peppy, and you've got Falco on your team, going up to try and defeat Andross, who is terrorizing the galaxy, you know. Very, very fun. And you go through each and every level with your R-Wing, typically. You also have the Land Master. You have one level where you use the Land Master. You're on ground, like you shooting things from the ground. You can hover on that one. But when you're in the air in the R-Wing, you can barrel roll, which is, you know, one of the most memed things in all of gaming for sure. Do a barrel roll still resonates to this day. It's very funny. You have barrel rolls. You have like maneuvers that you can do in the levels that are like on rails, so you're like just moving forward. You can shoot down rocks. You can get little silver rings that you fly through that restore your health, or gold rings. And if you get 3 of those, it expands your health bar. Very cool mechanic. You can also find smart bombs, little red bee icons. When you pick them up, you shoot a bomb, it explodes, it does a lot of damage to a lot of enemies, or if you're fighting a boss, they're very, very helpful for that. You have your basic beam that you can aim yourself, and then if you charge it, if you hold down the button, you get a charge that homes onto to your enemies. Very, very useful. It's a nice system, and I think it is incredibly smart the way that they implemented all these things for like a game on the, especially on the Nintendo 64 that has these 3D visuals and all these moving parts. It runs extremely smoothly. I'm so impressed with how well they optimized this game. It plays like a dream from start to finish. Didn't notice stuttering, any lagging or anything like that. And again, this likely is one of the best looking and best playing games on the Nintendo 64. So it's really a marvel that they're able to pull this off with the limited hardware that they had. Some of the areas that you'll get to actually have like free movement. You're like in a set area and you can move around. You can use like evasive maneuvers. So if you have someone tailing you, you can, I can't remember the exact inputs. It's like on the C directional pad, you press down or left. And then on the regular directional pad, you do a direction as well. You have one where you can just do a straight loop-de-loop to like shake someone that's on your tail, or you have one where you do a loop and then you turn around and go back the opposite way, so you don't have to be just flying around in a circle very slowly, because the turning it takes quite a while to actually just turn around mid-air. So using these maneuvers really helps the experience feel more smooth, and you'll definitely need them on some of them, especially against the fight with Starwolf and his team. You'll also be tasked with keeping your teammates safe. If they lose enough of their health, they go down and they disappear, they go off and they have to get their ship repaired before they can come back. So you'll be without a teammate for the next stage of the game, which can be really detrimental. Some of the levels can be really, really hard if you're not protecting your teammates. They can go down pretty easily. Again, this game isn't the easiest game ever. You have to be making sure that when you hear that you see the help icon, you have to go after them. They'll have their comms on there. The way that they display it is really smart. They have like Peppy with his face on the screen. You can see him talking. It's really, really fantastic how they implemented the little mini map, the way that they use the UI. It just really flows together perfectly. And I love what this game is. Again, I just wish that it had more. I'm sure fans were really excited about a GameCube version because they thought they can make way more levels, make a more robust campaign, and then they got the adventure aspect that they didn't really like nearly as much. I know Star Fox Assault was received a little bit better, but also still wasn't exactly what people wanted. It had like some weird mixes of things. The visuals weren't the best. So I know that one also has some like fans, but also is fairly divisive. So it was just a bummer for a lot of people. Now looking back, myself included, because I wanted more of this game. That's my only real gripe, is that it just felt too short. It felt like it cut off. I'm like, oh, I already beat Andros. I thought that was like midway through the game. I thought that was just a fake out. No, that was it. So I really just wanted more. That's the best thing I can say about this game, is that it's just really fun, and it left me wanting more, and that's a really good thing. Now, while I was in the process of editing this video, I found out that there are branching paths in this game with alternate routes and like different stages that you can complete with different characters. So this game is a heck of a lot more content filled than I thought it was. So I'm going to adjust my overall rating. I was originally going to give it that gold. I think I'm gonna have to give it that gold, between the gold and platinum. I haven't decided a special name for that. I didn't think I need it today, but we're gonna go in between that gold and platinum because I have lots more game to complete. It looks like I have more stages to find. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.